I enjoyed every minute. I enjoyed every minute of it. Very well written. Very well written.
You have come of age and developed into quite an artist, and I feel grateful to have known you all this time.
Don't let comfort be an excuse for not challenging your mind. And that's what you did not do.
You are one of the most phenomenal writers that I've ever dealt with. I read your script. I think I read your script when I was in the acting mood, and your script was better than the script that I was on the road doing.
I've never seen a director, a producer, an actor get on stage on each scene that there was nobody there, tying their lines into your lines while remembering it, while directing now. Everything behind stage without even breaking camera.
When I stepped into the club, no introduction was needed. My game laced with seduction like Pac, you better believe it. All eyes on me because you know I'm self-conceited.
When my brother got killed, it was so surreal. We was tighter than a fish's gill or riding a reel. First I saw hate spill like the blood from Emmett Till. Then like Nas, I lost my zeal like when he lost ill will.
Hold up, wait. Is that T-real? Who preaching out there? It's both as a matter of fact.
Welcome, everybody. Once again, we're back. We're live. We have a special guest tonight. But before we get into all of that, I just want everybody to kind of kick back, relax, and enjoy this hour. We're going to talk with a writer, a director, and all of the above. Sometimes we like to get off the beaten path and bring in other people from the business world and from the entertainment world and let them tell their story and let them get some sound bites. So tonight we have a very special guest, Mr. Timothy John, a guy that I've done some business with, a business partner of mine and a friend and all of the above. So we're going to get right into this conversation, and I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about himself and just talk what's on his mind. He's going to go into his play a little bit and some other things that he has on the table. So let's get started. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. How you doing?
I'm doing great. So what's going on up there in Kansas City?
Oh, I really couldn't tell you. I'm not in Kansas City. I'm actually on the outskirts.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Tell us a little bit about what's going on with some of your projects, and let's let the listening audience in and give them an insight of what's going on in your world.
First company that I'd like to speak on is N.I.P, New Image Pioneers Corporation, and that is pretty much the parent company to everything that I'm doing and involved in. And basically, it's a production company. Our motto is image is crucial. And the whole foundation for me is we're trying to bring something else to the table in terms of productions. I feel what sets me apart from anybody else is my passion and just the way that I take my craft. If you would, could you say a little bit about the company? Because, I mean, you were there from the beginning.
Well, basically, we came together and we brought a couple of products to the market. We had a stage play in the Kansas City area. And how all that got started was we started talking about some of the plays that he was writing, and he sent me a few things. And I read over them, and immediately I knew that he had talent. And I had been hearing about what was going on in his life and from a couple of different people that we both have contact with. And once I seen it on paper, I knew that we had a product. So at that point, as an entrepreneur that I am, we started the process of trying to bring a product to the market. We brought something to the market from the startup position. And those entrepreneurs that are out there understand that when you bring something to the market and you're doing it with not all the resources and trying to make lemonade out of lemons, then a lot of different things happen, and that's kind of where we were at. But we had a great product, and we were able to do it with a minimum budget, and now we're trying to take it to the second phase. Yeah, definitely. We're trying to take it to the second phase at this point. But the play that we done was at the Gym Theater. We had a decent turnout, and we're just coming off of that and working out the kinks, and now we're trying to move forward.
Yeah, definitely. And the other company that I'm involved in that I like LaPortia to speak a little bit about is the Believing Our Dreams Foundation. And our motto is the BAD Foundation, making bad look so good, one dream at a time. If you could you tell the people a little bit about the BAD Foundation?
Well, the BAD Foundation was we would like to target youth that are approximately about the age of 15 to 25 the basis of this foundation is to get our youth to really recognize what it is that they really want to do in life, and through us and our mentoring program, get them acclimated to the job careers, that they would like to accomplish in their life, and make sure that they're on the right path. These will be students and youth that have been deemed as bad at some point in time, who may have not gotten the support and the direction that they needed to be able to be successful in what they wanted to do. And BAD is fighting for that child that's been labeled bad.
Great. So let me ask you, when it comes to your writing, what style? Is there a specific writing style that you approach every project with, or how do you go about that?
First and foremost, I pray. And I'm gonna tell you this, man, and to anybody that's out there listening right now, I take my faith serious, and I feel like anybody that has definitely been through anything adverse, or that just has enough common sense, not to take life or God for granted. And so for me, man, it's a tough process, man. I got to move myself out the way, and so that just takes a lot of prayer and meditation, And once God brings me to that point, then it's a matter of doing my research, and that's what I think sets me apart from anybody else. I want to say most people, and when I say that, let me explain it, because I don't want to come off to where somebody will misinterpret that as arrogance. I just feel like that I'm so focused into my research and to being accurate, especially if I'm dealing with any type of piece that is biographical, that's about a known figure. For me, you have to be accurate and you have to be on point, and then the entertainment comes in behind it. So I just do my research. When it comes to an original piece, I do a lot of observation. I do a lot of listening, to the people around me, to the things that's going on around me, and just try to make the story, whatever it is, something that's true, so that when I present it to the audience, to the general public, to investors, that they feel like it's about somebody that they know, And one thing that I get criticized for a lot is sometimes I do that too well, and so a lot of times people do think that certain characters or certain stories is about something really either that I went through or somebody in my life, and that's not necessarily the case.
Okay, if you had to, is most of the material based on someone you know, or events, or your own personal life?
It's all different. I think a little bit later we're going to be actually doing a soft opening and a preview of a couple of the productions that we all have going on, and so it's a different case with all of them. King and X-Men took two great men of our time and told their story. With Justin Love, that was directly taken from a dream, and then Addicted to Love, I peeled back the story of Justin Love and then added on and created a family of people that similar to our family, and anybody's family in general. Bishop Brown, I will say this right now, Bishop Brown is not based on anybody. Bishop Brown is the wildest, most animated preacher / pimp that you'll ever meet in your life, and so I don't want anybody to get it misconstrued like I'm trying to blaspheme. Bishop Brown, he's totally radical and he's totally made up. The Prior Empire, I took a straight legend and told his story. With Purpose-Driven Love, I took two well-known figures and created a story based on facts. So it's a different scenario with everybody.
Okay, I know, because I know a few writers and been around a few in my day. Most writers like to read. What books are you reading, and what writers influence you the most?
First thing I can say, let me start with the most recent. Purpose-Driven Love, I wanted to tell the story of our President and First Lady, but I wanted to tell it aside from the politics, and in order to do that, I got my hands on everything that I could. So our President, Barack Obama, I definitely got both of his books, Dreams from my father, as well as The Audacity of Hope. I got every speech that you can name that he did. I got documentaries on him. I got Michelle Obama's book. I got everything you can name for the Prior Empire. I did all my research on JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling, live on Sunset Strip. His autobiography, Prior Convictions, for the King and X-Men, goes back to Jeff Stetson's play, The Meeting, the autobiography of Malcolm X. So a lot of my books that I read there are things that I want to do as far as on a professional level. As far as personal, Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. Anybody who hasn't read that book, I would definitely like to recommend that to people. So for me, man, it just goes back to that spiritual base. I mean, and that's the thing. Like for me, you have to understand. Like at the beginning, you said writer, director, all of the above. And a lot of times, people like to take that. It's a gift and a curse. People think that, oh yeah, this guy can do all this, but he's so spread out in so many different areas, he doesn't take time to develop those things. And I really do. So when I'm doing my writing, I'm doing my research as far as researching whatever I need to do to create a complete, great script. But then once the writing is complete, I'm focused on acting. I'm focused on being the best actor that I can, and so that doesn't allow me the opportunity to really be involved or consumed with anything else other than what I'm doing at that moment in regards to just leisure reading.
A lot of times when it comes to entertainers and actors and people that are gifted in other areas, there's a label that comes with that. A lot of times they like to call these guys weird or crazy, or, a lot of times when we're talking, and I may not understand some of this, how you're coming with a certain subject matter or from a different angle. How do you feel about, because it takes a lot to be able to grab it and to have the God-given talent and to not only that, but take it to the next level. How do you feel about some of the labels that come with the talent?
I think most of them are well-deserved. I think they're well-deserved, but I think they're misunderstood. Because, like I said, for me, once the writing is complete and that's done, I still got to carry the load of producer, and so for me, trying to act in a play and also produce it, that's very difficult, but it's difficult for me to separate the two from time to time, because a lot of times when I'm dealing with like you or somebody else on a business level, they don't want to hear TJ the actor. They want the producer that's no emotion, strictly about business, but as an actor, we get excited. We get angry, we're animated. And so, for me, everything that comes with it, I know what I signed up for. And so I expect it. And I'm just learning as I'm maturing as a man of God, I'm just learning to separate the two and really, really know the time and place for the two.
Okay, so I hear you done brought spirituality up a few times, and which I'm okay with. But you seem like a pretty spiritual guy. Yeah, I want to nobody out there. Right, but you seem like a pretty spiritual guy. So I don't want you to say like 50% or 70%. But what, as far as spirituality, what role does that play in the whole process? Not just the writing and the acting, but just your day-to-day life.
Well, you said you don't want a percentage, but I have to give it to you. It's 100%. Because the thing about it is, like I said, I do my research. And for the longest, I never watched any of Tyler Perry's movies. I never watched any of his plays, but not out of me being standoffish or me thinking I'm better than him or me being jealous of him. But for so long, when he first got on the scene and really got heavy on the scene, everybody who's been knowing me my whole life kept comparing me to him. And everybody that I would meet, they would always say, "You the next Tyler Perry." And so I would never watch that stuff because I knew the gift that I had. And so I wanted, at the end of the day, when I finished writing a production, I wanted to be able to say that I didn't steal. I didn't even watch it, because I didn't want to be influenced to where somebody would even be able to say truthfully that I took anything from him or from anybody else. And so I just bring that up to say that after I got, and it's all about being comfortable in your skin. After I got comfortable in my skin and I knew what was successful for me, then I went back and I said, now we watch everything, just to see what is working and what not. And so, I mean, I'm kind of getting off on a tangent, but I say that to say that it's just about being comfortable in your own skin. And so going back to the spirituality of it, I do know that him and I in particular have a lot of things in common, because for him to be successful, and it's not just him, it's everybody who's made it. But when you know that you got a great calling over your life, or you know that you've been blessed with the talent to do something, you are going to get any and every obstacle imaginable that's put in your way. And so you have to be strong enough to see through that, to not get wrapped up into your dream, and to have the means to support the things that you're trying to do. And that's the thing that I'm really learning right now. And so, I mean, I owe my spirituality and my faith to me still being here right now and still being able to pursue, because there's been a lot of setbacks, for me that, nothing that nobody else who's tried to do the same thing haven't went through themselves.
Right, and I think what happens a lot of times with Tyler Perry and other guys that are in the entertainment field is that in his own right, this guy is like Hank Aaron was to baseball. He's somewhat of a first black. I know there was a lot of guys who came before him and had some success in theater and entertainment, but at the same sense, he was the first. I mean, he was the first one to be able to make the money that he did. I mean, a lot of people paved the way for him to come about, because we didn't even have to bring up Tyler Perry, and it kind of naturally.
Exactly.
With Tyler Perry, he was the first. He was the first one to be able to go out and pretty much make his own money off of his product. He didn't really get a lot of people involved. I mean, at first he did, but then he came out and he was able to make huge profits off of what he was doing on the stage, and now he's in motion pictures and everything else. So as a black writer, there's always going to be that comparison, and that's something that comes with it. That's like playing baseball in the 60s and 70s. You were definitely going to get compared to a few guys, and so that kind of comes with it. So when people compare you to him, that's just a natural response to success. It's almost like someone saying what you would have to do to be successful, but instead they fill in the blank with Tyler Perry, because that's basically the template for successful black writers and actors. So let's kind of move on a little bit. We kind of got some of your background. I think the listening audience will really appreciate that. But let's start talking about some of your projects and what you currently have going on, and then later on I want you to give them a little taste of what's going on and who you are and what you bring to the theater, and not only that, but what you bring to the African American community. Go into a little bit more detail about your life. Tell us who you are. I mean, let's lay it out there for us. Let us know who you are. Yeah. Go into detail about who you are, where you come from, and where you're going.
Okay. Who I am, Timothy Johnson. I was born in Kansas City, Kansas, Wyandotte County. I was blessed with a vision, just to be a visionary, and so I see things differently than other people would as far as for my life. And you have to know, everybody out there has to know that when you know what you want to do, you have to be focused and not be consumed with yourself. What I mean by that is, I lost focus. Let me give a shout out to my son, Tamiris Jordan. While I was trying to make it, while I was trying to, chase this dream, I forgot what it was to be a father. You know what I'm saying? I forgot how it felt not having my biological father in my life. And so it was a time while I was going down this path where I was alienating myself from all the people in my life, and so that is, I think, where I have went through a couple things to where I could have easily avoided them, because I got so wrapped up into the dream and not the path,
Right. What I've noticed a lot of times is that, and this is just from my personal upbringing, and my father wasn't a preacher, but my mom was, the type of woman who got up and went to church every day. But what I find out a lot of times is that we find ourselves, as we get older, reflecting back on some of the things that our parents told us and some of our other elders were telling us, and we find ourselves in this moment of truth, and what it comes down to is that they were right. And that's kind of, definitely, and I just kind of wanted to throw that in there tonight because I'm not going to get on here and start preaching a sermon because I'm not a preacher, but at the same time, I think it's very important to understand what's going on in our own personal lives and what's going on in the world as a whole, and to reflect back on some of the things you may not agree with the elders, but at the same time, there's a lot of value in teaching moments, and we'll hopefully our generation will be able to pass some of those things on to our kids and our great-grandkids, and not only that, but to our neighbors and to other fellow faithful believers. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there and tell everybody to kind of stay strong, keep the faith, and let's continue to try to make progress in every aspect of life. So we definitely appreciate this conversation tonight. Let's try to get right into some of these projects, T, and let's start giving them a little snippet of what's going on, and let's start doing some of these plays.
The King and X-Men.
Two of the greatest leaders of our time came together to change the world before it was too late. One believed in nonviolence and a road to maintain the mountaintop. The other one vows to write off all wrongs of oppression by man means necessary.
Like anybody, I would love to have a long life. Longevity has its place, but I'm not concerned about that now. I'm concerned about doing the will of God. And I'm so happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Because mine eyes have seen the glory and the coming of the Lord. Thank you. Distinguished guests, brothers, sisters, ladies and gentlemen, friends and enemies. I want to point out first that I'm very happy to be here this evening. And I'm thankful for the invitation to come here to Detroit this evening. I was in a house last night that was bombed. My own. It didn't destroy all my clothes, not all, but you know what happens when fire dashes through, they get smoky. The only thing I could get my hands on before leaving was what I have on now.
That's amazing.
Justin Love, One Love.
One Love is a compelling story of a young love destroyed by friendships as a result of betrayal, abuse, and unhealthy relationships. It was first performed live in its entirety on Kansas City's radio station KPRT Gospel 1590 AM in December 1998. It was then performed live on stage for 3 nights at Washington High School in March of '99. The play and author were also featured in the book A Teacher's Cry by Louis
Dogood.
The book is always about student growth in schools and how it affects their growth by the inner city neighborhoods.
Yes.
One big happy family is about to get what? I'm for you. Is this joy enough? No, I'm telling them after the party. Last night was the first night in I don't know how long that we actually had a good time. Or at least for a while. And you just go up and leave as soon as your boys come.
See, that's the problem right there. Yesterday was supposed to be my day, but all you can think about is shooting. And why is it that every time I turn around, you and your friends didn't have some type of beef with my boys?
I don't know how to say this.
Say what?
But a couple months ago when we were separated, I was with somebody else.
I know, so was I. What are you bringing stuff for now?
If we're going to get married, then you need to know this.
I don't have time for this.
Jordan, I had a little too much to drink at Brian's party. The person I was with was Brian.
What? You mean to tell me that you were my best friend?
Let me explain.
Did you explain what? Did you sure as hell don't need you now. It's over. See, that's the problem right there. You're just in love. That's the problem, not just with you or me, but with everybody out there. We're all just in love. We're spending time being in love and not having love in ourselves. Not just love for each other, but first love for ourselves. I accept your decision. I accept mine. Hey, even though you ain't said no more, I'm always got to have your back, man. You just let me know when and where.
Precious Lord,
Hey, man.
take my hand.
Look, dog.
Lead.
Great. Good job. You got another one for us?
Yeah, we got that. We got Just in Love too. Addicted to Love.
Let's do it.
It's an inspiring story about an interracial family's addiction, relapse, and recovery. When laughter, fighting, and religion failed to keep this family together, they turned to the only thing that they have left, love. Everyone is addicted to something, but God is the greatest addiction of all, love. This plays the 21st century and Raisin in the Sun meets Miracle on 31st Street with a crazy swing.
I'm coming up on the rough side of the mountain, and I'm doing my best to make it. Hey girl, how you doing? I said how you doing, not it's on my last nerve when I ask somebody how they doing, and they just say hi. First of all, you got babies out here having babies. Second, you got men coming fast. I don't understand all these young girls out here that having these abortions and birth control. I say if they ain't ready to be a parent, you need to keep Mr. John and Mr. John. That's how coming, John. I want to thank y'all for helping me with my daughter.
Good afternoon. Yeah, it's good over you see me living. Now, if you see me living over there in the casket, chances are I'm probably having a bad day. Hey, what's happening, bud? I know you got my money from the bet on the game. Nigga, you know what, man. Hey, Miss Jackson with your fine time. 52 years old, still fine and very fly. They have you up in the just a camp for breaking your back. Sorry, Miss Jackson. I'm going to the barber shop here now.
That's why we think you're losing my house right now because of you. Well, Lord knows when you're coming home. I promise you'll be the
I just want us to have equal time with my son.
You went to my place when I was first, and then you just come here for 3 years now for Jordan. You died. You want to come back into the picture?
I appreciate you for having so much thing around my son, trying to be his dad.
Don't get mad when somebody else steps up to the plate and takes care of it.
Good job. That was pretty intense.
It was.
What else you got for us? What else you got for us?
We got Bishop Brown live in HD.
You've seen him on the hit stage play Just in Love 1 and Just in Love 2, Addicted to Love. Now he has his own one-man show. Bishop T.L. Brown is a pastor of Keep Hope Alive Faith Temple Tabernacle High Definition Pimpin' Church of God in Christ. Bishop Brown is an arrogant and animated hustler that preaches on the side. He has a love for women, jewels, and the finest things in life.
If you love God, do the Bishop Brown. Do the Bishop Brown. Do the Bishop Brown. When I'm in the pulpit, they say do the Bishop Brown. Do the Bishop Brown. Do the Bishop Brown. If you love God, do the Bishop Brown. Do the Bishop Brown. Do the Bishop Brown. When I'm in the pulpit, they say, if you love God. When I'm in the pulpit, they say, if you love God. When I'm in the pulpit, they say, I got an album coming out. It's called Bishop Brown's Cuts for Christ. They done stole my songs. Cause I wrote the songs for the Lord. They gonna steal my songs and then make them worship the devil. I done decided to take my songs back and give them to the Lord. J-E-S-U-S-C-H-R-I-S-T. J-E-S-U-S-C-H-R-I-S-T. One more time. J-E-S-U-S-C-H-R. Do you know that he got his own life? He got his own world. Died once, lived twice. He's the only life.
Back so big, the throne's still white. We can have blessings all night. Say you can have whatever with Christ. Say you can have whatever with Christ.
All single Christians, all single Christians, all single Christians, all single Christians, all single. Put your church fans up. Jesus Christ is the greatest thing.
Blame it on the praise, got me feeling saved. Blame it on them days you remember to pray. Blame it on the Holy Ghost. Blame it on the Holy Ghost. Blame it on the church. Blame it on the Bible. Blame it on the choir that was singing in revival. Bibles up, Bibles up. Hey, who do you trust? Know a couple scriptures, but a couple ain't enough. Bibles up, Bibles up. Throw your hands up. Tell the pastor's wife we about to tear the church up. Bibles up, Bibles up. All I do is win, 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 and God I trust. Got me this on my mind to find something he gave for us. And every time I think about the kingdom, everybody's hands go. And here's my dedication to Richard Pryor. You want it? Lord. He said the white churches, they be playing that scary music. Ooh, oh, oh. He said, you don't know if Dracula's going to jump out on you or not.
If you love God, y'all see this for the first time. When I'm in the pulpit, they say,
Wow, let's go.
We got the Pryor Empire.
Richard Pryor lost his battle with multiple sclerosis. Pryor will never lose his position as a cultural icon, and we can only hope that the cure for this debilitating disease will soon be found, so we don't lose another soul that reaches out and touches the folks like Richard Pryor has. His ability to allow us to experience our reality with the outrageous, profound, and conscientious perspective that only he imparts.
Hard times was way back, and it was dark all the time. I think the sun came out on Wednesday, so I happened to be out there one Wednesday, and the sun hit me right in the face. So I grabbed a bunch of it, rubbed it all over myself. See, the white folks, they didn't want us to have none of it, because they cheer you up inside. And I told them, always remember to keep some sunshine on your face. I got a new job.
Just get a job. A real job.
I got a real job. My impression of a baby being born.
Okay, that might.
California dreaming.
Say, them niggas was rolling. Them niggas was rolling. Them niggas was rolling. Them niggas was rolling. Hey!
bound to happen if you don't straighten it up. Higher highs, lower lows. Is this the hand I was dealt? Oh, is this how the game really goes?
Right, I'm supposed to be your best friend, not some other woman.
Well, if you don't like it, ain't no cement in your shoes.
You know what, Richard? Watch my back, because that is the last thing that you're going to see on me.
Watch out.
I'm leaving.
You won't be leaving in them hush puppies because it sure ain't going to leave in my car.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing Put that down. You don't need that.
I tease him sometimes. I tell him he had a black one, then a white one, then a black one, then a white one, and now he has me. He's done. Excuse me. I told you. He's really funny. He makes me laugh.
You want to take me to jail? Take me to jail. We ain't scared. So you got to do your best black stuff. We bad. Yeah. We bad. Yeah.
His strength is perfect when our strength is gone.
Wow. Great. So let's move on to the next one.
All right.
Give me some more. Give me some more.
Purpose-driven love, the love of my life.
What happens when a biracial law student from Hawaii with political aspirations meets a career-driven Southside girl from Chicago? Well, their love first sparked in the Chicago office. The fire ignited, then the flame burned all the way to the Oval Office. On their journey, they experienced several life-changing setbacks that nearly destroyed their marriage. Their story proves that love conquers all.
My mother told me never to trust a politician.
My mother said the same about lawyers. Will you go out with me?
No. You can become the first black president of the United States, even.
I can see that happening, you know? With you as my first lady. Will you go out with me?
No.
There's this movie that I've been dying to see that just came out by Spike Lee.
Do the right thing?
Yeah. Fight the power!
You know, I have been really wanting to see that movie. Okay, but it's not a date.
Yeah! Fight the power! You got to fight the powers that be! Yeah, boy!
I love that movie.
Oh. Can I kiss you?
I thought you'd be ever asked.
I
do not want any of this dessert.
That's a special dessert.
There's nothing special.
There is.
About this
There is absolutely.
This chocolate cake.
Don't worry about
this
that.
Is what's special.
Hold on.
There, you eat. You eat the chocolate cake.
That wasn't in the script. Hold on. Now look in the bowl. You tasted like chocolate the first time we kissed. And now, I want your chocolate for the rest of my life. Real smooth. Hey, now eat the cake, animal. You're in one of your moods again.
I'm pregnant. My mother does not have anything to do with this conversation. I have my own career and things to do, but I also have to take care of this household.
Look, I'll do better, okay?
That's all I'm asking. Besides, I'm pregnant.
You ready for president?
Tell me what it is I need to do so that I can make sure that I win.
You take too long to answer questions, like you're thinking. You say, a lot too much.
Let's talk about foreign policy, the state issues, you ask. You need to get a message that the people can get behind. You need to tell them that we're able to do this. Yes, we can do this. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. It only takes one person, one time.
As a black man, I can get shot going to the gas station. We can't make this decision based on fear.
Well, what if we win?
Guess that White House won't be so white anymore.
I guess we'll make history.
I'll prove them all wrong in the future. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you all have a blessed day.
Amazing. Amazing. I love it. But I love it every time. You know, that was a great, great, great performance. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, that was good. That was really good.
All right.
Was there anything? Was there anything in particular that you found challenging about writing this?
Of course. I've heard actually, and I don't want to keep name dropping, but I heard that Tyler Perry and Robert Downey Jr. both are coming out with movies on our President and First Lady. And so the most challenging thing for me was being the first person to put a production like this of its kind out there. And so that was the most challenging thing with that. And because it's such a sensitive issue for me. And so the biggest thing for me was getting over the hurdle or the fear, I'll say, of being that first person, not having somebody to go off of to see how to do it. And, you know, but what I can say about it is, like I said, I did my research on it. And I tell people all the time that purpose-driven love is 95% fact, 5% creativity.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Of course, yeah. I was just reading about copyright infringement, and basically that's a very important element that you need to be aware of when you are doing something about someone's life. And you have to be accurate. And so for me, I dug up every bit of information that I could through internet, through books, through television, radio interviews, and everything, and I just made sure that I got my facts straight so that when I do present it to the world that I can say that, look, this wasn't made up, And like I said, going back to the not wanting to be on the political aspect, I wanted to focus on their love. Originally, the title, I was calling it Presidential Love, but then I needed something in my spirit was saying that that wasn't the title for it, And I'm going back to Rick Warren's book Purpose Driven Life. That book really helped save my life, And I tell people all the time, man, it's a matter of what you take from the book. It's not like the book has any special magical powers or anything. It's just a matter of what you take from it. And so for me, Purpose Driven Love was a more fitting title. And the love of my life, if you go back to Barack Obama's Democratic National Convention acceptance speech and his presidential acceptance speech when he got elected, he referred to Michelle Obama as the love of his life. So I put those two titles together, and I think now it's finally complete and ready to go.
People call me Boogie because they know I get down.
You get down, you get down, you get down. They call it Boogie Brown.
I'm the best bet to the boogies, the bet to the rookies. People call me Boogie because they know I get down.
You get down, you get down, you get down. They call it Boogie Brown.
God has a great calling for your life. I see how my brother follows you, and so do so many other people.
I can guarantee you that you won't find me in Reverend Taditi Durong's church and nobody else's.
Terrence Lewis Brown Jr., I'm serious. I believe God chose you to lead masses of men and women to Christ. If you just give up the life and ask God to lead you, then trust Him to do it, everyone will follow you. I know it. I know
Look, I've done too much trouble in my life.
I know that God has a plan that is very special for you. Stop running from Him, Terry.
I'm the best bet to the boogies, the bet to the rookies. People call me Boogie because they know I get down.
You get down, you get down, you get down. They call it Boogie Brown.
I'm the best bet to the boogies, the bet to the rookies. People call me Boogie because they know I get down.
You get down, you get down, you get down. They call it
and talked to me. She just came and told me that if I didn't live for God, I was going to die, and I believe her.
I said I wasn't smoking with you no more, man. Before Tisha's funeral, I can't remember the last time I was up in the church, because they be acting a straight fool.
First Lady, yeah. First Lady said that it was up there singing like she was Patty Belafonte.
And then, hold on, Reverend Brother Sadiddy. Then that fool gonna start going around trying to anoint everybody.
I ain't never seen nobody take up an offering at a funeral.
I'm the best bet to the bookies, a bet to the rookies. People call me bookie because they know I get down.
You get down, you get down, you get down. They call it Boogie Brown.
I'm the best bet to the bookies, a bet to the rookies. People call me bookie because they know I get down.
You get down, you get down, you get down. They call it Boogie Brown.
If y'all ain't never been in an HD production, be careful who you sit next to, because you might accidentally be in the play yourself. You don't know. You need to be in the place because there's something in there for everybody. If it's not specifically for you, it's somebody who you know. So you need to pass the word that everybody needs to be in that building because there's a word for you that's going to be in that building. Amen.
In every special, you need a feature. Every feature, you need a special.
Great. So let's move on to the next one.
All right.
Give me some more. Give me some more.
Thank you all for joining us on this evening. What you guys are going to see today is a scene from a few different plays that I had the opportunity to produce. First time I ever performed that, my senior year in high school, I wanted to join the choir. They used to always go on these trips. They was going to New York. So I auditioned, made the choir. While we was there, one of our tours was the tour of the actual Apollo Theater. The director gave us a tour. He was like, all right, we're about to have our own Apollo. I did an imitation of Rich. And then the executive producer stood up, took off her glasses. She was like, boy, you a fool. We want you to come back, be on the show, and we want to feature you to do a tribute to Richard Pryor. In December of 98, I did the whole thing on KPRT 1590. Then in March of 99, I did it my senior year in high school. I lost one of my closest friends our junior year. It was crazy because after church, he said he knew the guy had a calling on his life. He was trying his best to change. And I murdered him. His name was Justin Stanley. It was the first time I lost a friend. I prayed and I asked God to help me get through it. And I had a dream. The dream was Justin Love. It wasn't about his life. It was just something that I was thinking. He saw this. It could have saved his life. That was Justin Love 2, Addicted to Love. And it took me like 10 years to come back with Justin Love 2. Today is a special day for me because it's my cousin's birthday. My cousin TJ, Terrence. And he was the closest person to me. I always say if anybody has a twin, that's how close we were. I had a dream before he got killed a week before. I decided to take one of my lower lows and make it my higher highs. Share my heart, share some of the work that I've done with you all on his birthday. Originally the title was Presidential Love. I wrote it back in 2009. Over the course of the past 5 years, I lost 2 children. And my son, when he was born, the doctor said he wasn't going to make it. He had heart failure. Long story short, I got on my knees and I just cried out to the Lord and asked him to save my son. And he did. So I just encourage you all, just don't give up.
Good job. You got another one for us?
Stay alert. Pray. Lest you fall into temptation.
He just didn't make a club about it. He still says big old pie. Big old pie. Y'all get right tonight. Good, I'm getting drunk just thinking about it. And going over there and pass it by to you. Where's Trey Song when you need it? Bounce up, bounce up. Come on. Hands up, hands up. I'm feeling myself. I'm in HD. Hey!
everywhere, just running. Nathaniel, what? Really? Jesus, really? And then we saw the Messiah. Anything happen good in Nasstown? That's the ghetto. They said, Legion. Praise the Lord. I'm here. And then he said, leave. And then out of nowhere, there's like 50 pit bulls just everywhere.
Wake up! I told you to stay alive.
Mercy. Mercy. Leave him alone.
Oh my God, they killed my boy. That the Messiah, Jesus, whoever it is, has risen. I have to see the nail prints in his hand. And I must see the picture in his side.
That's amazing.
All aboard!
Malcolm X. Treat people fair. But if someone tries to put their hands on you, send them to the cemetery. By any means necessary.
A time traveling bus. Hold on, I gotta make this quick stop. Let me down.
Person, Newton. The revolution has never gone anywhere. It's just a matter of what you stand for, what you believe, what you're willing to die for.
A time traveling bus.
R.F. Lewis, y'all.
R.F. Lewis. Keep going. No matter what. You're supposed to do the work.
Richard Franklin Lennox, Thomas Pryor. Hello? Hey. The director said that this show was supposed to be PG. Mary J. Blige. Washington Jr.
Inspired not to make a living. Inspired to make a difference.
Barack Hussein Obama II. We are not here to wait for the next person to come. The responsibility is ours. And so please help me. If you believe, say yes we can.
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 Colin Rand Kaepernick.
People are dying in the name because this country isn't old enough to listen to the border.
It's been 50 years, but I say black age good, don't it? Come with me for one more stop, y'all. My name is Eric Martin.
My name is Ed Smith. My name is Tarika Wilson.
name is Martin Sterling. My name is Michael Brown. My name is Freddie Gray. My name is Miranda Smith. And all lives matter.
Amazing. Amazing. I love it.
The white woman tells the white man to pray to black Jesus. And now they have to deal with their son at the hands of the black cop.
He killed my son in cold blood. I will take every black person out! This is not, I'm not this law!
You can't justify what you're doing. Somebody it's your son or
Saving is crazy!
It doesn't work like that.
That's amazing. So basically, those are your projects that's on the table. Go over them a little bit more into detail as far as what you're working on and where we're at within the process.
Yeah, those are just a few of the productions that that NIP and BAD has teamed up together with, and we're currently producing.
Is there contact information for you? Can they email you or give you a call, or how can they get in contact with you?
Well, I'm not taking calls like that on the whole wide screen of people, but you can definitely get in contact with me through my website.
Yeah, that was an amazing performance. I know you guys are tired. It takes a lot of energy. I've actually seen it live and in person, and it takes a lot of energy out you all to get that done. But I think you did a great job tonight. I'm going to try to go into more detail and get a little bit more into some of these plays and productions and let you kind of enter into TJ's world. But I'd like to thank you all for coming on tonight, and I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank everybody out there listening. God bless.
When I stepped into the club, no introduction was needed. My game laced with seduction like Pac, you better believe it. All eyes on me because you know I'm something conceited. When my brother got killed, it was so surreal. We was tighter than a fish's gill or riding a reel. First I saw hate spill like the blood from Emmett Till. Then like Nas, I lost my zeal like when he lost ill will.
Hold up, wait. Is that T real? Who preaching all day? It said it's both as a matter of fact.